Hola everyone, buenos dias. I hope everything is more bueno with you. I would like to share something that can be very revealing about the nature of a clock. A clock is a microcosm of a macrocosm. The macrocosm is the actual movement in time in our environment, and a microcosm is a small scaled down model of the such thing. So a clock is a functioning microcosm. Okay, so let's analyze the functions of a clock. So first of all, we're going to look at the face. The face is flat and it is circular and it is stationary. It doesn't move. Okay, and it represents the earth in this design. And then we have the arms, which are moving from left to right in a sweeping manner and making a cycle around the face of the clock. And that represents the movement of the sun over the earth, okay, at a scale rate. Scale down, you have the hour hand that represents, it goes 24 times around, revolutions, for the sun going around the earth one time. And then the minute hand would be an additional 60 times per hour. Then the hour hand, the seconds hand, 60 more times than the minute hand. Okay? So in essence, this clock is a scaled down model of the earth. You have the face of the earth, you have the sun going over the earth, and you have the firmament over it also, because you have the glass over it. But, okay, so in this design, it is the earth is still and the arms are doing the movement. Okay? So that being said, that is indicative that the earth is stationary and it doesn't move, that it's the sun doing the movement. So, this warrants for further investigation. You understand me? Because this is a functioning model of the earth. So let's investigate to see if the earth actually moves or not from the scriptures. I chose this Psalm of David because it's short and sweet. So it's chapter 93, Psalm of David. So let's read. The Lord reigneth. He is clothed with majesty. The Lord is clothed with strength, wherewith he hath girded himself. The world also is established, that it cannot be moved. So that's pretty emphatic right there. Seems like he's staking his whole reputation on, I created this, and doggone it, this earth does not move. Okay, so let's continue reading. Thy throne is established of old. Thou art from everlasting. So, as long as this throne has been established, the earth has never moved, according to the God of the Bible, emphatically. So let's continue to read. The floods have lifted up. The floods lifting up, riling up. These are those who oppose the Most High when he says the world is not moving. Those who oppose the Lord, the floods have lifted up their voice. See, they talk the gibberish that they have been taught by the authorities who are teaching them lies. The floods lift up their waves. So the flood lift, those who oppose are lifting up their forces, to try to contradict God. The Lord on high is mightier than the noise of many waters. So he's saying, no, there's just a bunch of gibberish. The Most High is more powerful than a bunch of people with a bunch of gibberish who don't know what they're talking about. Well, that's what this is saying. Yea, than many mighty waves of the sea. Oh, that'll be the authorities that are fooling this people. They don't teach the people the truth, what they believe in. They believe in the Bible cosmology and the Egyptian cosmology, but they don't tell the people. They tell them fiction. The sea The testimonies are very sure, and holiness becometh thine house, O Lord, forever. So he said his testimonies are sure. So when he says the earth don't move, it's sure. Okay? And anybody can see it if they open up their eyes. And it's a holy thing to know the truth. So let's keep the stats straight. We have a model here that's a functioning model of the earth that keeps accurate time to a T. And its concept is the earth doesn't move. And we search the scriptures and find out that the earth doesn't move from the mighty God of the Bible. And we must be onto something here. Okay? So let's do a further investigation and see if the sun is moving or not. Because both of them can't be moving. Okay? Or both of them can't be still. One has to be moving, one still. So let's search the scriptures and see what it says. Because this clock says the sun is moving. Okay? The world says the earth is moving. So let's see what the God of the Bible says. Okay, so let's read from the Psalms chapter 19. From the Psalms of David concerning whether the sun moves or not. Here we go. To the chief musician, a psalm of David. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. So the heavens declare the glory of God, but the firmament show his handiwork. Okay. Day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge. Day unto day uttereth speech. So speech is vibration, knowledge is thoughts. Okay? There is no speech nor language where their voice is not heard. So no speech and no language is concerning vibrations, speech and language, where their voice is the firmament in the heavens. So you can't get out of the range of the vibrations of the firmament, and you wouldn't have no vibrations, no speech. You wouldn't even have no speech at all if it wasn't for the firmament. Their line is gone out through all the earth, and their words to the end of the world. So their line is gone out through all the earth. So that there is the heavens and the firmament, and they have a line that goes out through all the whole earth, where the firmament and the heavens and the earth meet. And it's a line. It's nothing globular or circular. It's plane. It's a line, linear. And their words to the end of the world. So it's an end to this world under the firmament. It's an end to this world under the firmament. In them have he set the tabernacle of the sun. So the tabernacle of the sun is set in the firmament in the heavens. See? Which is as a bridegroom coming out of his chamber. So the sun comes out of a chamber from the firmament like a bridegroom out of a portal. Okay? And rejoice as a strong man to run a race. So the sun is definitely moving with energy, non-stop, never stop moving. Okay? Period. His going forth is from the end of the heaven, and his circuit unto the ends of it, and there is nothing hid from the heat thereof. So his going forth is from the end of the heaven, and his circuit, so he makes a circle over the earth, a circuit over the earth, just like that clock. Okay? And there is nothing hid from the heat thereof. So when the sun comes, he brings his heat and light over you, and then when he leaves, he takes his heat and his light away with him. There's nothing come from no 93 million miles away. How can light come from 93 million miles away, from a ball that's shooting light in all directions? First of all, the whole sky would be lit up. Okay, and then the light comes from 93 million miles away, all the way, comes to Earth, and then it splits the sky in half, and half is dark and half is lit up all the time, and it's moving. If you could do that on a piece of paper or anywhere, hey, I'll bow down to you. Okay, you'll be the greatest genius ever. You never thought this out. That is in some impossible bull crap right there. So let's continue reading a couple more verses here. The law of the Lord is perfect. So the sun moving in the firmament is perfect, converting the soul. When you know the truth, it converts your soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure. You better believe when he say the sun is moving, the sun is moving. Making the wise simple. It don't take no big brain to figure out the sun is moving. You see it with your own eyes. Moving across the sky, you see it with your own eyes. Now you're gonna believe your own eyes, your lying eyes, or you're gonna believe what your teachers have been teaching, or you're gonna believe your lying eyes. They got you hypnotized. The statutes of the Lord are right, rejoicing the heart, and the commandment of the Lord is pure, enlightening the eyes. So when you see what the earth is really doing, your eyes are enlightened. Okay? And when you go by what they've been telling you in school and establishment, you are in total darkness. So let's proceed with the proceedings. So as we can see, this clock is built on biblical principles. Okay? Let's keep the stats straight. That just means the concept of this clock and what the Bible saying are in synchronization. Okay? The Bible says the earth doesn't move. This clock says the earth doesn't move. The Bible says the sun moves. This clock says the sun moves. This clock works. God works. Okay? So does the globe work? Okay? Well, we won't even go there. We won't waste our time with that right there. Let's proceed with the proceedings. There's one more element here that's easy to overlook because it's invisible, and that is the glass that goes over the clock. That is a representation of the firmament that goes over the earth, because the firmament over the earth is invisible. It's a new color, clear. So that's how they can fool you, see, because it's clear, and it's been passed down through the wisdom, through the generations of all the ancient people about the firmament. Not only that, if you know the elements, you know that you can't have air pressure or water pressure unless it's pressurized. The firmament is there to pressurize the air pressure and the water pressure, all the air pressure and all the water pressure on the earth. And on the globe, you have nothing to keep the air pressure or the water pressure in there, because the globe is fiction. So let's get right into it. You see, the firmament is clear. It's transparent, so they could easily fool you because you can't see it. Okay? You got to keep that in mind. So let's read about it. Hast thou with him spread out the sky, which is strong, and as a molten looking glass. Okay, so in the firmament, you have to understand there are optics. Okay? Optics is like a looking glass. So when you see in the moon and the stars and the sun, it's behind optics. Okay? And it is strong. It's like glass, like strong. Nothing can penetrate the firmament. Can nobody go to the moon? Can nobody go to the sun? Can nobody go to the stars? Can nobody leave outside of the realm of the firmament? Because God put it there to keep people in place. Okay? So if you say it's not a firmament and you think you can go outside the firmament, you are already one of those who oppose. Okay? Because he put it there for that reason. God knows what he's doing. Okay? He knows the beginning from the end. With that being said, this is the firmament right here it's talking about. The glass vault that is in the sky that holds. This is how tight it is. No air pressure or no water pressure molecules can get past it. And this is how strong it is. All the pressure of all the hurricanes, air pressure, can't penetrate it. All the evaporating water from all the ocean on the face of the earth can't penetrate it. So do you think any crap can go beyond it? And you need to give thanks for the air and the water that you breathe and you drink every day, because you wouldn't have it without the firmament That being said, let's keep on proceeding. So here we have a graven image of Nut, the sky goddess in Egyptian ancient culture. So let's delve into it and analyze what the message that is conveying. So we have Nut here, and she is the representation of the bolt in the sky. Okay? And you see her four extremities touching the earth, her feet and her hands. That is a representation of the four elements in which we live: earth, wind, fire, water, all within her realm which she holds together. Okay, now when you see her feet touching the ground, and the Bible says it's a line between the heaven, the earth, and the firmament where they connect. You see her feet touching the ground, that's a representation of her feet touching the ground of the flat earth, and her hands touching the ground of the flat earth. And you see the earth, the heavens, that's the air, and her feet, the firmament. Okay, so that's where the firmament touches the earth. Okay, so the sun disk, you see it's a disk because it only shines down. On the reverse side of the sun is dark. On the reverse side of the sun is dark, and it is a disk. And it emerges out of Nut's vagina. That's a birth. She's giving birth to the sun. Then it goes across the sky from east to west. Shines down on the people. It only shines down on the people. It doesn't shine out in outer space. It doesn't shine, it's not a ball. It's a disc, and it only shines down. Then it goes from east to west, and then it re-enters another portal. The vagina was a portal, and then it enters another portal in her mouth, where it says Nut consumes the ATEN, the sun. And then it enters back into her body, and it makes and that is the time of the dead and nighttime. And then it makes a cycle, and then it comes back out her vagina, and then that is the rebirth. And that is the Egyptian legend of the life, the death, and the rebirth of the sun in nature and in Egyptian culture and in the cosmos. And the letter N is dedicated to Nut, the shape of the letter N and the sound of the letter N. And if you say nation, that's Nut. A nut is Nut. A note is Nut. A net is Nut. A unit is Nut. A minute is Nut. Because Nut is the power to bind and hold all matter together within her realm. The word nude is Nut, and it is an indicator that Nut is clear. It's clear, so you can transparent, and it's easy for people to fool you, the evil ones, so you won't even know she's there. So here we have Nut in the shape of the letter N, which is actually an Egyptian picture letter of the arc in the sky, Nut, the firmament. And Nut is arced over in the letter N, and you can see the sun passing through her body. That is her relationship with the sun and nature. And you can see the stars in her body, and the stars are indicated as lights, not planets, as lights. And you can see Gib down at the bottom. He is the representation of the flat earth. And you can see Shu up at the top. That is the indication of the air. Shu, the air god holds the air pressure is within Nut's realm, so all vibrations. You will not have sound without Nut. All vibrations reverberate off the dome. Just like when you hear a sonic boom, when you hear the jet go by, just vibrating off the dome. Okay? That's why I can rip an airplane apart. So the word night is Nut. The word nude is Nut. The note is newt. A knot is newt. A net is newt. A nation is newt. Nature is newt. Nutrition is newt. Newt is everywhere within our culture, and it's the concept that it holds, binds all things together, and they put it in the power of the language and the vibrations, so you cannot escape the vibrations of the firmament and the vibrations of the power of newt. So here we have an artist's rendition of images that they usually have on the ceilings of the great kings of Newt, and they all basically convey the same message. So let's analyze this. So see, we have Newt here, arced over the sky. Her body is transparent. Her four extremities is touching the earth, the four foundations of the earth. Her feet are touching the earth and on the straight, flat earth. Okay, so now we see the sun emerging out of her vagina, and it has wings, indicating that it is flying across the sky. So it is emerging out into the heavens, out of the firmament, and it's going from the east to the west. So it's coming out of the portal that the Bible was talking about, the husband coming out of the portal. So it's a rebirth of the sun. And it's rejuvenated, and it's going from east to west, and you can see it's bringing sunlight to all the people that's down on the flat plains all along here, and animals, flat plain. Then it's going across, and when it gets over towards her mouth, you can see it starting to get dark. See the dark blue there? And then Newt consumes the sun. That is the dead. And Newt is night also, so that brings night. She consumes the sun, and then it makes a journey through her body to cycle, and then it comes where the stars and everything are, and then it makes a cycle, and it rebirths back out her vagina for the next day, and that's the cycle of the sun, the life, the death, and the rebirth in ancient Egyptian culture, and ancient Egyptian cosmos, and ancient Egyptian wisdom. So let's not make no doubt about it. Here we have a magnificent display of Newt, a sunset as Newt consumes the sun into her body. This is African, ancient Egyptian cosmology, and ancient Egyptian wisdom, and ancient Egyptian nature. This is not idolatry right here. This is explaining to everyone the realities of nature, and these walls were made magically with intelligence unknown to man, dedicated to the intellect to pass down the wisdom of Newt to our generation, the lost people. So this sun with these beautiful wings, it's obvious that it's moving, and it's obvious that it's a disc because it only shines in one direction. The other side is dark on the other side of the disc. It's not light on both sides of the disc. So let's investigate this solar disc. So here we have the winged disc, the winged sun disc on the temple, the Ramesses temple in Egypt. The people who built the pyramids with the wisdom of the pyramids didn't believe in no big old ball sun at all, and they wasn't revolving around the sun. The sun were flying over their head from the east to the west, coming out of a portal and going back into the portal. And that's the wisdom that built the pyramids from the ancient African Egyptians. And Ramesses, these are the times of the biblical kings of the wisdom. So this is a representation of the truth, the solar disk that flies across the air from east to west. So here's another manifestation of the solar disk in another temple in Egypt. Let me ask you a question. Do you think the Egyptian who wrote these with magical technologies wrote something fake on the walls about the cosmos? You know, they were dumb when they said the sun was moving across the sky. Okay? But still, we don't know how they made the pyramids. What is that telling us? And what is it telling us African-centric people? Because we're not teaching this cosmos. What is that telling us? You know, we're not following our own ancestors' wisdom. And he just hides the fact from you while you defend his cosmos. Of course, which is not his cosmos at all, because he believes in the real cosmos. He gives you the fake stuff. Here again, we have a beautiful illustration of the winged solar disk in the ancient African Egyptian culture of wisdom and knowledge that built the pyramids. So you can't build no pyramids believing the sun is a big dumb ball. Okay? We got to keep the statistics right. Okay? So that's enough about that. So here we have a so-called image of the mighty and brilliant and wise African Egyptian king Akhenaten, who was the father of monotheism in Egypt and is believed to be the actual Moses. Okay? And Akhenaten is named after the ATEN. You see the disc, solar disc on his head, and the word says ATEN, sun disk god. Don't get it twisted. Akhenaten, they didn't believe the sun disk was God, but the manifestation of the power of God. Okay? But let's get an identity and understanding about this ATEN sun disk. And let's get an understanding why these sun rays are always only coming down. I mean, don't these Egyptians know that the sun is a big old ball up there shining in all directions? I mean, are they really this uneducated? Well, that would be stupid. They built the pyramids. They have more intelligence than you have. No one knows how they built the pyramids. So he knows the real wisdom. All Egyptians, and no Egyptians had a big dumb ball. They had the solar disk, and the rays only came down because the other side of the disk is dark. This is a secret of the cosmos. Here we have a magnificent image of Akhenaten's family, Queen Nefertiti, and they are getting blessed by the sun rays from the solar disk. And that disk doesn't seem to be 93 million miles away, that famous Freemason number. It doesn't seem to be no million miles away, okay? Seems to be right over their head. And ask yourself the question, how in the hell is heat coming from 93 million miles away? I mean, if you believe that, you know, come on now. Have you ever heard the weatherman saying the heat will be coming from 93 miles of darkness to reach the earth? Do you see 93 million miles of darkness between the sun and you? Every day you see the blue sun, this blue sky around the sun. Anyway, getting back to this. Okay, so they're under the solar disk, and the sun rays only come down. My goodness, are these Egyptians ignorant? Who's the fool? Who's ignorant? Who's really ignorant? And this is African Egyptian ancient wisdom cosmology. How come all the conscious Africans and Egyptians in New York and all around nowadays are not teaching this? Okay, and are teaching the same cosmos as the Caucasian oppressor? That's a question that needs to be asked. Okay, so undoubtedly their sun only shine down, and guess what? On the backside of the disc is dark. Okay, that's what God does his work in the darkness. And so one thing we know, you can't build no pyramids believing you live on no globe. As a matter of fact, you have to have a level foundation to even build a pyramid. Okay, you can't build a pyramid on the ball. So here we have the more of saying Akhenaten's family giving homage to the beautiful sun rays that are blessing them from the ATEN, and it's not no 93 million miles away. Those sun rays are coming directly to them. Look at the beautiful hands coming down on the sun rays, and ain't no break in the action. Ain't no darkness between you and the sun. Okay, 93 million miles of darkness between you and the sun. You think so? What they've been telling us is conceptually impossible, and they cannot illustrate it on no graph or no photo. You have to look at it closely. The sun is not a big bozo ball way out, okay? It's efficient. It only works for the earth. You dig? So let's analyze the big ball, the big burning ball. So let's analyze the sun, y'all. So, have you ever seen the sun in a dark sky? You know, the sun brings the light, okay? So, it's impossible to see a sun in a dark sky, because when it goes across the sky, it flares out its light, you know, so far, you know, calculated distance to bring the light, and when it leaves, it takes the light. Therefore, impossible to see the sun in a dark sky. And there's no break in the sunlight. It's just right down, and there's no break, no darkness between you and the sun. The rays just come straight, just like the Egyptians say, right? Right over your head. So here's a beautiful, you know, so-called chart of the solar system, okay? This is standard for all of them. This is the total design. You know, NASA, everybody. You know, this is the best they can do, okay? So let's analyze this, their version of the sun. Well, damn, how in the hell did the sun get in a dark sky? Hot dang. Okay, that's trick number one, illusion. That's illusion. You see it right there, the sun in the dark sky. That's what you call trickery. Okay, so now this is an illusion, a fake illusion, and if you believe in this, you're delusional. And this is a part of the great delusion spoken of in the Bible. So, but let's analyze this. So now they got the sun in the dark sky to set their little scheme right. You know, this is what you call wizardry. So this whole graph and this whole concept is already dead. You know, they line right out the gate. But let's play it on through and see all the other lies. So now you got the sun in the dark sky. That's lie number one, the foundation lie. Then let's look. It's no blue sky nowhere on here. It's all black sky. Okay? Lie number two. On Earth, there's always a blue and a black sky when the sun is moving over your head. Okay? That's lie number two. So they shot down two. They 0 for 2. So let's look at the Earth. The Earth doesn't have a blue sky nowhere. The whole sky is dark around it. Okay? That's hit number 3. See, because they slick. Gotta watch a snake. Okay, now, so it's no blue sky and dark sky on the earth, but they got the fake illusion that this light where it's facing this fake sun. This is fakery. Hit number 4, and this is total rubbish right here. So, alright, so and all the charts are like this because they cannot simulate a blue sky and a dark sky on the earth. See, they do it with fakery, shades and all this kind of stuff. The whole sun, this is hit. The whole sun is wrong, the whole sky is wrong. And when they put that dark sky in there, it puts you in darkness when you believe in it, and that's idolatry. False concept is idolatry. So here we have a photo of the sun from space. You know, like NASA's photo of the sun from space. Wow, it's beautiful, right? The big ball out there and way 93 million miles away. So this is the ball 93 million miles away, right? But I got a question. How come this damn ball is in the dark sky? Okay? Have you ever seen the sun in the dark sky? Okay, let's keep it 100. Okay? Heck no, I haven't. Maybe you did. So the big ball is supposed to be 93 million miles in the dark sky, a darkness And there's 93 million miles of darkness between you and the sun, but it's still getting the sunlight to you, and it's, you know, heat and all nice and everything. That heat is nice after traveling 93 million miles away. It's just so calculated to give you just the perfect temperature, okay? Through 93 million miles of darkness and cold, you know, and what the hell? How in the hell does get in the darkness? A sun in the darkness. This right here is bogus right here, okay? This is what you call idolatry. Straight up. The big dumb ball is a suspect, you dig? And the concept of a big dumb ball is no separation of darkness and light on a big dumb burning ball. That's why it's a false concept, and it get exposed when you look at it closely, you dig? And so there is no such thing as a picture of the sun from space. That's all fiction. So look at us now. We got a picture of the Earth from the moon from NASA. Okay? Wow, it's a pretty, oh man, it's beautiful. I can see the curvature. Okay? Dig? But check it out. Where in the hell is the blue sky? Okay? These people coming outside where it's lit up and they looking up at the sky, and guess what? It's a black man. You dig? It's block. See? It's fake. They can't show you a blue sky and a dark sky on Earth because they're lying. I mean, look at it. It got an illusion. Now, where is the sun anyway? Where is the damn sun? And where's the sun that will produce a beautiful blue skies? You dig? And why has it got mono black sky? That's because they got you in the darkness on this one. You dig? That's how it go. This is it right here is an illusion, false illusion, and when you believe in it, you're delusional. You dig? This ain't legit. It's not legit. So here we have this is the image of the Earth, NASA's image of the Earth, 2010. So check it out. This is so beautiful. You dig? We got the nice daytime, but damn, where is the blue sky? You dig? They got it all shaded and stuff. Where's the sun at? And where's the blue sky and the dark sky? They got one sky and it's all black. You dig? And then they got some fake shadery on the blue marble. You dig? But no sunlight coming in and no sun nowhere. No stars nowhere. Because they can't fake a photo. There's no such thing as a photo of the Earth. You can't. No man can't make no photo of the Earth. Can't take no picture of the. This is what they can give you. You pay trillions of dollars for this garbage. This is what they call garbage. And once you believe in this, this is an illusion. And once you believe in it, you're delusional. And then once you ignore all the flaws, that means you ignore. That means you're ignorant. You dig? This is reality, and they know it. They don't believe in this. No real educated elite believes in this. They get the real education, you get the garbage. So the key is they can never get the skies right. You have to pay attention. They can never show you a separation of darkness and light on Earth unless they tell the truth. So let's study the firmament from the scripture. So let's read about the firmament when it began in creation. We're going to start first Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. So in the beginning, there's no time frame for that. That's so, it's no like 1,000 years. It's like way in ancient times. God created the heaven and the earth. The earth is the solid part and the heaven is the air part. And they're eternal planes. They don't say that the heaven wraps around the earth. It says the heaven and the earth. So what is the earth? The earth is the solid ground, terra firma. It's a plane. It never ends. And the heaven is always over the earth, and it never ends also. That's what that really means. They don't want you to understand that. So let's continue. And the earth was without form and void. People think when it says the earth was without form, that it was formless, like a blob or something. No, incorrect. When it says without form, they went corrupt. That's tuhu. And then void, that's boo-hoo. That means it was voided out, destroyed. That was the first time the world was destroyed, and it was destroyed completely. And darkness was upon the face of the deep. The darkness upon the face of the deep, dual meaning, the wicked world was smashed down with water, and they have wicked cities underneath the water right now. Like the legend of Atlantis, that's what it's based on. And the face of the deep is saying that the bottom of the ocean is a pinene, which means it's on a level plane and all water sits in a container. In the pinene, a deep container, deep face of the earth. Okay? So, continue. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. The Spirit of God, that's representative of air moving on the face of the water. Air always pushes down on water. And the face of the water, that's the pinene, the flat face of the water. Pinene means a flat surface. So you have the pinene of the bottom of the ocean. And then you have the pinene of the waters. And all waters face in one direction. All waters face in one direction on the earth, from the smallest drop of one cup to the ocean to a pool. It's the pinene. They all face upward. And God said, let there be light, and there was light. So God was the light. There is no sun at this time on the earth. There is no firmament at this time on earth. No stars on the earth at this time. And no moon. Okay? God is the light, and the vibrations of his will made it to be. And God saw the light, that it was good, and God divided the light from the darkness. One of the first principles on the earth is the division of light and darkness on the earth, and every planet has a dark side. Okay, the sun included, the moon included, every star and every what you call planets are what they call roaming stars. They just came up with that planet stuff, and they are lights, and they are not solid dirt or nothing like that. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night, and the evening and the morning were the first day. So that's the first day. So, and God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. So now on the second day, God is putting the firmament, which is the vault in heaven, up over the earth. They cannot be penetrated. It's firm or anything. Okay? And it holds waters, all the water pressure. When it evaporates, it doesn't leave the earth because it can't pass the firmament. You wouldn't be able to live without the firmament overhead. So let's continue. And God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. So the waters below the firmament, that's what we call our environment, our atmosphere. And we are inside the firmament and cannot get out. Okay? And we are birthed from the water in the firmament, and the firmament is like a woman's womb. Okay? It's like a woman arched over. Okay? Like a woman's belly, and we are birthed from the water under the firmament. Okay? Just like the Egyptians showed the firmament as a newt. Your head is your firmament. That's why it comes out first when you're born. God called the firmament heaven. So the firmament is heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day. So the firmament was made on the second day. And God said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place. So the waters up under the heaven are gathered together. This is not a globe. Okay? And let the dry land appear. So the dry land appears out of the water. Okay? This is what you call a level plane existence. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called he seas. And God saw that it was good. And God said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herbs yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after its kind, whose fruit is in itself up on the earth. and it was so. When it says up on the earth, it don't say around the earth. When it says up on the earth, these things sit up on the earth. You know, the Bible is in detail. There's no such thing as around the earth. There's no concept of that. And the earth brought forth, and with all this vegetation is being grown, there's no sun in the sky. God is providing the energy for this. And it's underneath the firmament. And the earth brought forth grass and herbs yielding seed after its kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose seed is in itself after its kind. And God saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the third day. So that's the third day. And God said, let there be lights in the firmament of heaven to divide the day from the night. So there's lights inside the firmament. That's light energy. That's not dirt or nothing like that. Okay? This is light energy. You know, it is not dirt. The moon is not dirt. You know, you can't bring back moon dust. The moon is a light. And let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years. So they're in the firmament and they rotate and gyrate, and they, like the sun revolves in this revolution and makes a day from within the firmament. Okay? If the firmament is set, the luminaries are in there to set the seasons and the days. They move. The earth don't move. And let them be for lights in the firmament of heaven to give light upon the earth, and it was so. So the lights give light in the firmament, give lights upon the earth. They only shine down on the earth. The sun only shines down on the earth. The stars only shine down on the earth. The moon only shines down on the earth. And the roaming stars, what you call planets, only shine down on the earth. The planets have their own light. There's nothing. Our sun only shines down here. Our sun is not shining nowhere in space. Okay? So let's continue. And God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and a lesser light to rule the night. And he made the stars also. Okay? It doesn't say anything about no planets. The planets, they always call them roaming stars. And they are light energy. Luminaries. That's why they call them luminaries right in front of your face, because they have their own light, just like the Bible says and just like that name indicates. And God set them in the firmament of heaven to give light up on the earth. No celestial body shines in the universe. They're close up over our head, and they only shine down on the earth. The stars are not billions of miles away. The stars are right over your head, and they shine only down on the earth. The sun is right over your head, and it shines only down on the earth. The moon, you only see one side of the moon, right? One face of the moon. That's because it's only one face. The other side is dark. And the moon shines only down on the earth. Okay, so, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness, and God saw that it was good. So every planet got a dark side and a light side, because that's a principle of our environment and God's word. And the evening and the morning were the fourth day. Okay, and that is how the firmament and the stars work in reality. So we know the clock is a miniature model of the real actual world. See how they got, and the face represents the ground. See how they got the ground, the nations and stuff, the continents on the face. Okay, but they didn't put it in there correctly though. Okay, so it represents a flat earth with the sun moving over the top, the clock. And it's really weird how the United Nations map and the clock look similar, you dig? Because here go the United Nations map, it got this net over this net. That represents the firmament, right? That's what it is. The firmament, NUIT, is a net. There go the net. And the Bible says it was used for, it had the sun in there to keep time, right? So all this thing right here is doing is missing the sun, okay? So check it out. We put the little solar disc in its proper place over the United Nations map, and we got a real functioning clock, just like the other clock. That's because it's a real principle. So if this solar disc, which only shines down, go make one revolution around this cycle one time, that's one day. And look, you got all the countries underneath there, and you got the pineum of the water, all the water facing in one direction. You got the pineum of the bottom of the water, bottom of the deep, all the ocean, bottom is flat. You got the pineum of all the nations of the world, they all facing in one direction, straight up. You dig? This is the biblical world right here. Maybe that's why they chose this map. This needs some further investigation. You dig? So what is the United States? What is the United Nations map? Well, it is an azimuthal equidistance view of the Earth. Okay, that's what it is. It has nothing to do with the globe. Period. It has nothing to do with the globe concept. It's totally foreign to this. This has something to do with looking over the earth like you're in heaven. That's what this is. Like over the earth like you're in heaven. Okay, so they have the firmament there, and they have all the pineum and everything. They have everything just like you were looking in heaven. They have all the countries in there, and that's what this is. Okay. Yeah, and you can tell time. You can use this United Nations map to tell time. Okay, to keep time. And this is the only map where you can fit all the countries in. Period. The only map is this way. There is no other way to make a map of the world and tell time with it except for this way laid out in the flat earth. So what do we have on the right over here? Okay, what does it say? It says Gleason, new standard map of the world as it is. It's got that written in this pyramid with a little wink on the top, like a wink wink. And then it says on the projection of modern college. Okay, oh, because this is a real map, right? So what does it say on the left over there? It says calculations of longitude, time. Oh, okay, so you can calculate. So this is a big clock right here of the whole world. And it's the only clock of the whole world that you could tell time with. And it's just like a clock, guess what? Because it's the real thing. Right here, plain view. So this is the reason why the United Nations picked this map, because it's the only map of the world. Okay? The only one. Period. Yeah, when you Google map of the world, this is what you get. A map for suckers. Okay? This is what you get. You can only put it in the real way, or you can put it in this way and present it to the public. And that's what they do to idiots. Okay? Look at the concept of this. They can't fit the nations on a map unless they show it in reality. Or they can put it like this. Do you live on one of these maps? Okay? This is the best they can do, because their whole concept, what they're telling you, is false. But they don't use this map to map out the world. You can't tell time with this. Okay? This is what you call an illusion. And if you think this is a map of the world, you're delusional. If you Google NASA map of the world, you're going to get this garbage. Because this is all they can give you. Unless they give you the reality like the United Nations map. You dig? The United Nations map is the real thing with all the principles of God on there. You dig? All the principles of the ancient Egyptian culture on there, with the sun moving over the pineum of the flat water, the pineum of the bottom of the deep, and the pineum of the earth. Oh, there is no pineum. Nothing's flat on these maps of the earth. Nothing. This is what you call stupidity. I mean, nothing's nothing. Nothing's uniform. You know, look at it. That's what they give you, and that's where your mind is at. You dig? Hey, United Nations map. That's my map right there of the world. Okay, the only one. So this is my No, so the United Nations map, the equidistance view of the world, that's my map of the world. Me and the United Nations is the leader of the world. This is the rest of the public's world map of the world right here. So you can see they're giving you stupidity. So let's analyze the world they have you to believe in. Okay, they say the earth revolves around the sun at the speed of 66,600 miles per hour. That's 666, number one, when the earth doesn't move at all. Number two, the curvature of 1 square mile is 0.666 foot. So the shape of a ball is basically 666. Okay, the earth is flat, so now we got 666, number two. Now that's the shape now, the movement, now the shape is 666. Now they have the earth's tilt at 666. That is 66.6 degrees. So now we got a fresh set of 3666 all over the earth. Then they say it's 93 million miles away. You turn that in reverse, that's 36. 93 in reverse, that's 36. That's the next 36. So that's 4 sets of 666 on the earth. When you believe that, then you're 666 because you're made of the earth. But it's all an illusion. It's only in your mind. This is a Freemason's world. Illusion. So what do we have here? The year of wonders. 1,666. Man, that sounds like a Freemason number. Let's read about this. In 666, Isaac Newton, age 23, the next Freemason number, made a revolutionary inventions and discoveries. We're going to skip this part. Oh, gravitation. Okay, so let's read how he did that, supposedly. It was in this year that Isaac Newton was alleged to have observed an apple falling from a tree in the which, in any case, hit upon the law of universal gravitation, Newton's apple. So listen, first of all, there's no such thing as the law of gravitation. Gravity is a theory, it's not a law. And the thing is, what's the deal with this apple in 666? This seems like some little satanic shit going on here. You dig? Okay? This though, seeing an apple fall, sounds like from the earth you grew, from the earth you shall return to me. I mean, it grew from the earth and fell to the ground. I mean, the white man seeing an apple fall to the ground in 666 and to get a great revelation. Okay, that sounds like some satanic stuff. Newton was a great wizard, Freemason anyway. Let's just, keep it 100. Obviously a Freemason story. So what do we have here? Martin Beheim with his first globe in 1492, 500 years ago, which they call the apple Earth. Another apple, kind of like the Garden of Eden, huh? They like that because it got that star in the middle in the circle, that's the satanic worship, putting a spell on you. Okay, so let's read about his globe. The oldest terrestrial globe, the Erdefrel Earth apple, made in 1492, the oldest terrestrial globe. We can just leave it right there. So check it out. What's this deal with Earth apple in 1492? So that's what this globe is. It's a white man thing. He came up with 1492, the Earth apple, and this apple thing, and these 666s. So this Freemason guy, Martin Beheim, this is, part of the whole scheme. So, yeah, the usual. So this is the end, my friend, and a lot of questions have been answered, and a lot of questions need to be answered. For instance, to the conscious black community, how come you're not teaching your ancient Egyptian culture? You dig? How come you're teaching the same way as the 666 system? You dig? To the public in general, how come they never teach about the firmament from the Bible for the Bible believers? How come they never get into the firmament? You dig? To the people who believe in the cosmos that the oppressors are giving you, how come you don't have no charts or no pictures that are legit? You dig? They're all phony. You dig? To the people out there who want to, learn about the real Egyptian cosmology, could you contact me so we can study about this together? Because it's time to bring back the real cosmos taught by the ancients. You dig? On that note, peace, shalom, and adios, amigo.